In this video, I will explain wave propagation in lossless or non-conducting media. Wave propagation. Wave propagation in lossless or non-conducting media. Non-conducting media. We know that first consider Maxwell first equation. Del cross H bar is equal to J bar plus dou D bar by dou T. J is sigma E bar. So dou by dou T of D is epsilon E bar. That is equal to sigma E bar epsilon dou E bar by dou T. Dou E bar by dou T. Differentiate. This is the del cross H bar. Differentiate above equation with respect to T. Differentiate above equation. Above equation with respect to T. That is dou by dou T. Del cross H bar is equal to sigma dou E bar by dou T plus sigma dou square E bar by dou T square. That is del cross dou H bar by dou T sigma dou E bar by dou T epsilon dou square E by E bar by dou T square. We know that second expression del cross E bar is equal to minus dou B bar by dou T. Del cross E bar is equal to minus dou B bar by dou T. Del cross E bar is equal to B is equal to mu H. See the equation 1. B is equal to mu H minus dou mu into dou H by dou T. Dou H by dou T. Taking curl of this equation. Taking curl of this equation. That is del cross E bar is equal to minus mu del cross dou H bar by dou T. Dou H bar by dou T. This can be written as del of del dot E bar minus del square E bar is equal to minus mu here del cross del H bar del cross dou H bar by dou T is equal to sigma dou E by dou T plus sigma dou square E by dou T square. Substitute in place of the del cross dou H bar by dou T is sigma dou E bar by dou T plus epsilon dou square E bar by dou T square. This equation can be written as del square E bar is equal to del of del dot E bar plus mu sigma dou E by dou T plus mu epsilon dou square E by E bar by dou T square. This one is del dot D is equal to rho V, del dot epsilon E is equal to rho V, del dot epsilon del dot E is equal to rho V by epsilon. For non-conducting media, rho V is equal to 0. Therefore, del dot E is equal to 0. Therefore, del square E bar is equal to for non-conducting media, sigma is equal to 0. For non-conducting media, sigma is equal to 0. This is 0 plus 0 plus mu epsilon dou square E by dou T square. Therefore, del square E bar is equal to del square E bar is equal to mu epsilon dou square E by dou square E by dou T square. Convert this into phasor form. Phasor notation E bar is equal to E bar is equal to real of E into E power j omega t. Dou E bar by dou square E bar by dou T square, that is equal to dou by dou T of E bar. E bar is real of E power E into E power j omega t. That is equal to dou by dou T real of E into dou by dou T of E power j omega t. That is equal to dou by dou T E into E power j omega t into j omega. This one is real of. Again, real of E into dou by dou T of E power j omega t into j omega. That is equal to real of E into E power j omega t j omega into j omega. J omega whole square real of E into E power j omega t. J omega whole square, that is equal to E bar. Del square E is equal to j omega square E bar. The wave, uniform plane wave traveling in z direction. Consider uniform plane wave traveling in z direction. In lossless or non-conducting media. Therefore, del square E is equal to, we know that del square E is equal to j square. J square is -1 J square is -1. Del square is equal to here real of e power j omega t. Real of e power j omega t. One more expression here is mu epsilon term is also there here. Mu epsilon mu epsilon dou square e by dou t square here. Dou square e by dou t square is e power. This is the entire term is. But del square is equal to mu epsilon dou square e by dou t square. Here. This is the dou square e bar by dou t square is j omega whole square. That is j omega whole square e bar. But del cross e bar is equal to del cross e bar is equal to here. Not del square e bar, not del cross. Del square e bar is equal to del square e bar is equal to mu epsilon dou square e by dou t square. Mu epsilon dou square e by dou t square. That is equal to mu epsilon dou square e by dou t square is j omega square e bar. Therefore, del square e bar is equal to minus j omega whole square mu epsilon e bar. J omega whole square is means minus omega square mu epsilon e bar, that is del square e. We know that dou square by dou x square plus dou square by dou y square, dou square by dou z square ax bar plus dou square by dou x square plus dou square by dou y square ey bar plus dou square by dou x square plus dou square by dou y square, dou square by dou z square ez bar is equal to minus omega square mu epsilon e bar. The wave is traveling along the z direction. Dou by dou x is dou by dou x is equal to 0. Dou by dou y is equal to 0. Therefore, finally, dou square by dou z square ex is equal to here. These terms are zeros. Here Ez is 0. Ez is 0. Here these two are zeros. These two are zeros. Ez into entire term is 0. Therefore, here minus omega square mu epsilon e bar is ex. E bar is ex ax plus ey ay plus ez Az. That is Ex Ax plus Ey Ay. Ez is 0. The wave is traveling along the direction, therefore Ez component is 0. Therefore, finally, dou square by dou z square Ex is equal to minus omega square mu epsilon Ex. And similarly, dou square Ey. Here, dou square Ey by dou z square is equal to minus omega square mu epsilon Ey. Consider this expression. Consider this expression. Dou square Ey by dou z square is equal to minus omega square mu epsilon Ey. Putting dou by dou z is equal to d. Dou by dou z is equal to d. Therefore, d square Ey plus omega square mu epsilon Ey is equal to 0. D square is the common term. D square Ey is the common term. Omega square mu epsilon into Ey is equal to 0. Ey is equal to 0. That is equal to d square plus omega square mu epsilon is equal to 0. D square is equal to minus omega square mu epsilon. D square here minus 1 minus is the j square omega square mu epsilon. D is equal to j omega under square root of mu epsilon. Two roots are there. That is equal to d is equal to plus or minus. D is equal to plus or minus j omega. Omega root of mu epsilon is beta. Beta is equal to square root of mu epsilon. D is equal to plus or minus j beta. In that form is the solution is Ey is equal to a into e power minus j beta in z direction plus b into e power j beta z. That is Ey, where a and b are where a and b are arbitrary constants. Arbitrary constants. Arbitrary constants. The above equation is the phasor form of electric field. In by the above equation, is the phasor form of electric field. Phasor form of electric field. To find the time domain form, to find the time domain form, form, we multiply the phasor form by e power j omega t. We multiply the phasor form by e power j omega t, and then take the real part of it. Ey z of t, real of a e power minus j beta z plus b into e power j beta z into e power j omega t. That is equal to real of a into e power minus j beta z into e power j omega t plus b into e power j beta z e power j omega t. That is equal to real of a into e power j into omega t minus beta z plus b into e power j omega t plus beta z. Real term, that is equal to a into e power jx is cos x plus j sin x. The real term is cos x. Here x is j. Here x is omega t minus beta z. Cos omega t minus beta z plus b into cos omega t minus beta z omega t plus beta z. This one is a forward traveling wave. This one is forward traveling wave. This one is backward traveling wave. Backward traveling wave. We know that initially beta is equal to mu, beta is equal to omega. Beta is equal to omega into square root of mu epsilon. Square root of mu epsilon. Beta is equal to omega into square root of mu epsilon. Omega by beta is equal to 1 by square root of mu epsilon. That is equal to c. C is equal to omega by beta. The wave velocity. The wave velocity it is defined as the velocity of propagation of the wave. Velocity of propagation of the wave. Therefore, v is equal to omega by beta. V is equal to omega by beta. V is equal to f lambda omega is equal to 2 pi f by beta. Ff is cancelled. Therefore, lambda is equal to 2 pi by beta. Phase shift constant. Beta is called as a phase shift constant measured in radians per meter. And the intrinsic impedance is equal to impedance is equal to E by H eta square root of j omega mu by sigma plus j omega epsilon. J is 0,